For many years, China's economy seemed unstoppable. It was like a powerful engine driving global growth. It grew incredibly fast and changed global trade. China's factories produced goods at an unprecedented rate, flooding markets worldwide. But now, things look different. China faces many economic problems like high youth unemployment and a struggling real estate market. The once booming construction industry is now seeing empty buildings and halted projects. These problems aren't just China's worries, they can affect the whole world from how things are made to how much people buy. Global supply chains are deeply intertwined with China's economy. Young people in China are having a hard time finding jobs. Many graduates are struggling to enter the workforce, leading to frustration and uncertainty about their future. The real estate market, once very strong, is now weakening. Property prices are falling, and developers are facing financial difficulties. Also, China's population is getting smaller and older, making things even more complicated. An aging population means fewer workers and more retirees, putting pressure on social services and economic growth. Understanding these problems is important. It helps us understand what will happen to the world's economy in the future. Analysts and economists are closely watching China's next moves. What happens in China affects everyone. The ripple effects of its economic policies and challenges are felt across the globe, influencing markets, trade, and everyday life. In China, getting a job after finishing school is getting really tough. More than 1 in 5 young people, aged 16 to 24, can't find a job. This isn't just about numbers, it shows that young people in China are worried about the future. They're afraid their education and hard work won't be enough for a good life. This lack of jobs can cause big problems. If many young people can't work, it can lead to unrest and less spending, which can slow down the economy. China's real estate market used to be a sign of its strong economy. For years it was booming, with new skyscrapers and residential complexes sprouting up at an astonishing rate. The rapid urbanization and economic growth were symbols of China's rise on the global stage. New buildings went up quickly, and prices went way up. The demand for property seemed insatiable, driving prices to unprecedented heights. Now things have changed dramatically. Land sales have dropped by a lot, and big real estate companies are having trouble. Many construction projects have come to a halt, leaving vacant sites and unfinished buildings. The dream of owning a home is getting harder to reach. Families are finding it increasingly difficult to afford property, and the once thriving market is now filled with uncertainty. Unfinished buildings are everywhere, like empty ghost cities. These abandoned projects are a stark reminder of the market's downturn and the overambitious plans that never came to fruition. This real estate crisis shows bigger problems in China's economy. The slowdown in the property market is a reflection of deeper economic issues that could have far-reaching consequences. It could also hurt China's financial system. Banks that have lent heavily to real estate developers are now facing increased risks, and financial analysts are growing more concerned. If big real estate companies fail, it could cause a chain reaction affecting banks and investors. The ripple effects could be felt across the entire financial system, leading to a broader economic crisis. When people feel good about the future, they buy more things, which helps the economy grow. But in China, people are being careful with their money. They are saving more and spending less. This is happening because people are worried about jobs and the real estate problems. They don't want to buy expensive things. This is a bad sign for China's economy. China's population is getting smaller and older. This demographic shift is significant and has far-reaching implications for the country's future. This is a big deal for its economy. A shrinking workforce means fewer people are available to drive economic growth and innovation. For a long time, China had many young workers. These young workers were the backbone of China's rapid industrialization and economic expansion. This helped its factories and its economy grow. The abundance of labor kept production costs low and made Chinese goods competitive on the global market. Now, there are fewer workers and more retired people. This shift puts pressure on social services and pension systems. This means fewer people are working and paying taxes to take care of the growing number of older people. The financial burden on the younger generation is increasing. The one-child policy made this problem worse. Introduced in 1979, it drastically reduced birth rates and led to an aging population. Even though the policy has changed, its effects will last for a long time. The demographic imbalance created by the policy will take decades to correct. China needs to find ways to deal with this problem for its economy to stay healthy. Solutions may include encouraging higher birth rates, increasing retirement age, and investing in automation and technology to compensate for the labor shortage. China's economic problems don't just stay inside China, they affect the whole world. When China's economy slows down, it impacts global trade. Think of countries like Australia and Brazil. They sell lots of raw materials to China. If China's economy isn't doing well, they buy less, and that hurts those other countries. This connection means that if Chinese factories slow down, it can mess up supply chains all over the world. This affects everything from the electronics we use to the cars we drive. Money also moves differently. China invests a lot of money in other countries, especially developing nations. If China's economic problems mean they invest less, big projects like roads and bridges in Africa, Latin America, and Southeast Asia could stop. This can hurt their chances of growing. There are also big political effects. If China's economy is unstable, it can change the balance of power in the world. Countries might change who they are friends with and who they trade with. This could cause more tension between countries. Also, China's Belt and Road Initiative, which is a plan to improve trade routes around the world, could be delayed. This would change things for the countries that rely on those investments. Understanding these global effects is really important for governments and businesses everywhere. As China deals with these problems, the rest of the world needs to get ready for the changes that will happen. China's economy is facing some tough times, but technology and innovation are stepping up to help. The Chinese government is putting a lot of money into high-tech areas like artificial intelligence, 5G networks, renewable energy, and biotechnology. They see these areas as the future drivers of economic growth. A good example is China's Made in China 2025 inches plan. This plan wants to improve manufacturing using advanced technologies like robotics and smart manufacturing. The goal is to make China a world leader in high-tech, relying less on foreign technology and more on homegrown innovation. Online shopping and digital payments have also changed retail in China. Companies like Alibaba and Tencent are huge in China and important globally. Their work in financial technology, cloud computing, and big data analytics is setting new standards and creating growth opportunities. The Chinese government is also focused on green technologies to address environmental problems and promote sustainable development. Investing in electric vehicles, solar power, and wind energy aims to reduce pollution and create new high-tech jobs and industries. Special economic zones like Shenzhen are encouraging entrepreneurship and technological progress. These areas act as incubators for startups and attract international talent, which further boosts China's innovation. By prioritizing technology and innovation, China wants to overcome its current economic problems and build a stronger, more diverse economy. This focus on high-tech and government initiatives could shape China's economic future and its global role. China's economic policies have a big impact, not just within China, but across neighboring countries and the entire region. Think of countries like South Korea, Japan, and those in Southeast Asia. They are all connected to China's economy through trade, investment, and supply chains. So when China makes new economic policies or faces financial difficulties, these countries feel the effects almost instantly. For example, China's Belt and Road Initiative has poured money into infrastructure projects in countries like Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and Indonesia. While these projects can help local economies, there are also downsides like increasing debt and potential political influence from China. If China's economy slows down, these projects could be delayed or stopped, causing financial problems for the countries involved. China's policies on trade and tariffs also have a big influence on regional markets. When China changes its rules on imports and exports, nearby countries have to adjust quickly to avoid economic problems. This can lead to changes in regional partnerships and trade agreements, affecting overall stability. China's push for technological advancements also impacts the region. Neighboring countries have to compete with China's growing strength in areas like artificial intelligence, 5G, and green technologies. This competition can encourage innovation, but it can also create economic gaps and tension. In the South China Sea, China's economic goals are mixed with territorial disputes, making things even more complicated. Economic policies that affect shipping routes or resource exploration can increase regional tensions, impacting peace and stability. It's really important for neighboring countries to understand how China's economic policies affect the region. This helps them deal with the challenges and take advantage of the opportunities that come with being connected to one of the world's biggest economies. By staying informed and being flexible, these countries can better manage the economic and geopolitical changes resulting from China's evolving economic landscape. China's economy has grown very fast, but this has come at a cost to the environment. Pollution, using up resources too quickly, and making sure things last are big problems China needs to fix to keep its economy strong. Let's talk about air pollution first. Big cities like Beijing and Shanghai often have really bad smog. This is unhealthy for millions of people and makes it hard for businesses to work efficiently. The Chinese government is trying to fix this with stricter rules on pollution and by investing in renewable energy like solar and wind power. But moving away from coal and oil is a slow and difficult process. Next, let's look at water. Clean water is becoming scarce in China. Factories and farms pollute many rivers and lakes. China is working on cleaning up its water, but this needs a lot of money and new technology. China uses a lot of natural resources like wood and minerals more than any other country. Using too much has hurt the environment. Now China is trying to be more careful about using these resources and is investing in recycling. China is becoming a world leader in green energy, especially solar and wind power. The government wants to lower pollution and use more renewable energy. China is also investing a lot in electric cars and batteries to use less oil and clean up the air. Even with all these efforts, there are still problems. It's hard to balance growing the economy and protecting the environment. Growing cities and industries continue to pollute, and sometimes the government's green policies are not applied consistently. To wrap up, China's economic future depends on fixing its environmental problems. How well China handles pollution, resource use, and green initiatives will determine its long-term success. What China is doing is important for other developing countries with similar challenges. Gap 3S. China's economy is facing some tough times, and it's important to think about what the next 10 years might look like. Experts have different ideas, but some common themes are emerging. Some experts are optimistic. They believe China's focus on technology, like artificial intelligence, biotech, and green energy, could lead to a new period of growth. Investing in these areas could help China overcome its current problems and become a global economic leader. Shifting to industries that produce more valuable products and focusing on what consumers want could also be really important. However, other experts are more cautious. They worry about problems like high debt and an aging population slowing down growth. China's real estate market, which has been a big part of its economic growth, might struggle for a long time, causing instability in the financial system. If this happens, China's economic growth could slow down a lot, affecting markets worldwide. Experts suggest a few key strategies. One is to diversify the economy. This means relying less on real estate and heavy industry, and focusing more on areas like healthcare, education, and technology. This would create a more balanced and resilient economy. Also, dealing with environmental issues is crucial, not just for China, but for the entire world. Another important suggestion is to strengthen social safety nets. Improving healthcare, pensions, and unemployment benefits could help people during economic changes and maintain social stability. So, while the future of China's economy is uncertain, careful planning and proactive steps can help overcome potential challenges. By focusing on innovation, diversifying the economy, and making sustainability a priority, China can build a stable and successful future. The rest of the world will be watching closely and adapting to these changes. Gap 3S. China's economic problems affect the whole world. Because it's such a big economy, when China slows down, everyone feels it. If people in China buy less, businesses around the world that sell to China will have problems. Also, problems in China's financial system can affect stock markets everywhere. We all need to pay attention to what's happening in China's economy. The decisions made in China affect everyone, from big investors to regular people. Understanding these changes is important for everyone who cares about the future of the world's economy.